It was once called a fire scene. Now it is called a crime scene. We have seen an officer stop by this location to check out the structure behind us, and there's a good reason for that. You can actually see the fire that was part of this building start back up. A 7-year-old boy returning from a 4th of July celebration is shot and killed in Humboldt Park.
Never before have I really been able to walk on Wacker Drive and basically empty this time of night. Do not leave your children inside cars. Do not leave your pets there as well. You can see this tree here. Both the sides pretty barren. The snow really accumulating right in the center. Some of the most severe damage that we have seen. A tree in the background blocking off any cars from coming in. The line was long. The wait was longer.
We out here, man. Been here 3 days, 4 days, Mike, just for you, bro.
Hundreds seeking scarce Michael Jordan shoes.
Jumpman, 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 them boys up to something.
We're gonna keep one, maybe sell 2.
5 stores in the country receive the OVOs.
People go crazy for those.
It's very rare.
But what Sabrina Curtis and family search for
I didn't come here to buy shoes.
isn't sold in any store.
My faith and my heart told me that he was here.
Sabrina's brother saw pictures of the long lines posted on social media and happened to spot a family member she hadn't seen for more than a decade.
So I came from Waukegan.
She walked around the lengthy line, getting help from strangers.
There's like a culture. It's kind of like your family.
Sneakers bring the whole world together, man.
Until one soul waiting for shoes was reunited with another. Her nephew, Jeremy Henderson, came in from Memphis for the sneakers, not realizing it would turn into a family reunion.
She haven't seen me in over 15 years. I miss you too.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
I was overwhelmed.
Shoes brought the masses to one store. Not many can say it brought a family together.
Michael Jordan never did nothing for me.
And Mike's the man. Shout out to Mike.
But in a sense, he brought me closer.
A grief-stricken family huddles together outside of Mount Sinai's emergency room. Loved ones search for comfort after learning they lost 3-year-old Ian Santiago.
I had a good time with him. He was a good kid.
Santiago's grandfather, Israel LaSalle, was home with Ian and his 6-year-old brother Saturday night when a noise echoed through their Humboldt Park house that would alter the lives of everyone in the family.
I heard a pop, and I came through the door, and the 6-year-old, he told me, Ian's been shot.
LaSalle says Ian's older brother somehow got a hold of a gun above the refrigerator and accidentally shot Ian. He adds the 6-year-old may not understand what happened and remains in shock. The father, 25-year-old Michael Santiago, was charged and accused of knowingly storing a loaded revolver above the refrigerator when asked if there's anger towards him.
No. You know, you can't be angry at the person. He was working, you know. He probably just, he didn't think they were going to be able to get out there, you know, on top of the freezer.
Did he often leave his gun above the refrigerator?
That's the first time that I heard that. I didn't even know he had a gun.
What do you tell a 6-year-old?
Stay away from guns.
Santiago faces a felony charge of child endangerment causing death. LaSalle reminds parents this evening, if you have a firearm at home, make sure it is locked up and stored properly. In the outer outfields of a ballpark built on history, a kind of Cubs throwback rounds the grounds of the friendly confines.
It's a car to be seen.
This is really cool.
What's it doing here?
Yeah, I'm back in the 80s.
They point, they pull the cameras out.
Pretty cool.
I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
The pilot of his 1981 DeLorean is Tom Sidor.
I'm the official time machine operator. So in 1985, when the movie came out, I had to have a DeLorean.
I had no idea the car was still in existence.
It speaks to something more important, and that is a Cubs victory.
That passed Back to the Future 2 script at Chicago, winning it all in the present.
We're here.
And over the past 4 months, the team's play motivated this engineer by day to work hundreds of hours, day and night.
Because there's a lot of parts to it, and you got to make sure they fit well.
This is a Menard special. Mr. Fusion is purchased a la Amazon.com. Harnesses the energy from the flux field in the front to the flux capacitor. Do that, you get your 1.21 gigawatts, you're good to go. This thing is not a monster. It's got 130 horsepower.
But what it lacks in go, it makes up for in show, turning heads and even snouts.
A lot of smiles on people's faces, that's for sure.
The number-focused engineer calls the movie's prediction
mere coincidence.
This is wild.
Others wonder if it's where good fortune and good timing finally intersect on the north side.
Fate, time, destiny. It is it. It is meeting.
Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News. If moving into a house is a fluid process, consider this unpacking.
My son's clothes.
One step toward feeling at home for Kristen Skinderi, husband Ozzy, and 14-month-old baby Nixon.
His Santa outfit.
All are temporarily staying at Kristen's mom's in Des Plaines.
It's not nap time yet, buddy.
It is their first weekend back after a frightening journey beginning with what doctors told them was a death sentence.
They said, enjoy your son because he will probably not live past the age of 3.
About 9 months ago, the family learned Nixon had Gaucher's disease. That's when the body lacks an enzyme leading to organ damage. It can be as fatal as it is rare.
He's like 1 of 12 in the world.
But rather than move towards mourning, over the past several months, the couple moved from place to place to save their son.
We went to a children's hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio.
We lived in Loyola.
The only real places we visited were hospitals.
We lived in Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh.
There, doctors performed an umbilical cord stem cell transplant. The process included chemotherapy, killing the disease, but also Nixon's ability to fight off infection. The transplant offered a way to rebuild what Gaucher's and treatment destroyed.
That's my guy.
Yeah, buddy.
It also rebuilt a family's sense of hope.
There's nothing showing that he has Gaucher's disease anymore.
The next move they hope to make is even further away from a deadly disease.
So surreal to be back here in Chicago.
The Skinderis are not calling this a cure. Because of the rarity of Nixon's case, doctors aren't sure what his future holds. What they have said, his life expectancy is now greater than age 3. His parents hoping to be part of it for much, much longer than that.
The view is fantastic. The view is of downtown Chicago.
After the rush, a rush hour.
Yeah, always running around, always working through traffic.
Daisy Arashiba settles into his 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath apartment. The comic actor and musician calls this home and home office for,
What, 7 years?
but this year he discovered his nest
Was that a falcon?
expanded unexpectedly.
Well, I'm sure you know the Chicago Housing Authority's like, that's not a legal bedroom out there in the balcony.
Part of his 28th floor Lakeview apartment was taken over by a pair of squawky squatters.
When they get together, they become kind of the Bickersons. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, I've been flying around hunting things. What do you got? I got something. I just killed it. You want to eat some? Sure. You know.
Peregrine falcons are a bird of prey traditionally nesting in places like barren cliff faces.
And I happen to have empty window boxes because I'm a terrible gardener.
He branded the birds after famous musicians.
Steve and Linda because Perry, Steve Perry and Linda Perry.
Eventually discovering his new neighbors made more than music.
And there are 4 chicks. There's Luke Perry, Katy Perry, Joe Perry, and because it's Chicago, Refrigerator Perry.
The birds are federally protected, so it is against the law to move the nest. Arashiba has limited access to his balcony for about another month. That's when this feathered family could say farewell.
Chicks that have been born here have ended up as far away as Ecuador.
For now, the hum of traffic is part of the lullaby for 4 newborns. The Windy City providing a perch and one man providing the rent for some temporary tenants.
So there they are. Unfortunately, I'm okay with it.
Jeremy Ross, CBS 2 News. Right now at 6:30, a violent holiday weekend in Chicago claims the life of a 7-year-old boy. Plus, we're taking a look at some of the 4th of July celebrations held around the area. And what a long, strange trip it's been. The Grateful Dead play their final show at Soldier Field this evening. Good morning to everyone out there. I'm Jeremy Ross alongside Mary Kate Kleiss. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. If you have any coffee to share as well, we could probably use that too. New this morning, a 7-year-old boy returning from a 4th of July celebration is shot and killed in Humboldt Park. Police say he and another victim were standing on the sidewalk near Hardick and Thomas just before midnight when shots were fired. The boy was hit in the chest. Paramedics rushed him to Stroger Hospital, where he later died. The other victim, a 26-year-old woman, was also taken to Stroger in stable condition. Police believe the victims were not targeted. So far, no one is in custody.
A 14-year-old boy is dead after a fight on Facebook transitions into real-life violence. The Wisconsin teen died after he was shot Friday night. Police say the boy and a group of friends had an argument on Facebook with another group of people over a girl. The two groups met up at a fireworks show. That is when someone fired a barrage of 8 or 9 shots. Police continue to search for suspects. Rescuers in China scrambled to find people trapped during an earthquake, even as the ground was still shaking. Surveillance video shows a group of soldiers running for the door after a 6.5 magnitude quake in far western China Friday. Many arrived at the hardest hit areas within minutes. At least 6 people were killed and dozens more were injured. Time right now, 5:13. Mary Kay, finally seeing summer weather. Get this, during summer.
I know, right? Wait, whoa.
Let's take a look at what's going on behind me. These serious flames on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. This fire reportedly broke out at a 4th of July celebration while the boardwalk was lined with visitors. Fortunately, no reports of any injuries. Across Greece, voters are at the polls deciding on a referendum that could keep them afloat, with tough strings attached. At issue, whether to accept strict terms demanded by creditors in exchange for an extended financial bailout. For people who have difficulty making toast, like myself, this is actually a pretty good way to go.
No cooking required.
And of course, both these things are non-fat, right?
Of course, no calories. And fresh strawberry scones, which are my favorite.
I've tried making scones before.
Oh, how did that go?
It did not go well. It did not go well.